There's no right or wrong answers, but I like to work backwards, right? So what's the end goal? The end goal is to make money online. So let's get into like the nitty gritty of it. If you're someone that likes your routine and like ultimate comfort, can you do this? Yes. Is it affordable? No, not at all. It is not affordable. Definitely think that like just knowing where to apply will be a game changer for anyone looking for a work from anywhere job, wanting to get started on their digital nomad journey. And then you just have to jump. You just have to commit and jump.
Make the leap, do it.
You've arrived at your destination.
Oh, and welcome to To Be or Still Takeoff. My name is Phil, and today's guest has been a digital nomad since 2017. He is the founder of Nomad Generation, a travel show that has generated over 3 million views, and you may have recognized her from the Amazing Race Canada. If you are a digital nomad or are curious about becoming one, you are going to love this episode. So welcome to the show, Ebonie.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
So what's going on with you?
I'm in my home base. I'm originally from Montreal. I just came back from a 5-month trip in Latin America. So just, enjoying some time home before we hit the road again in October and probably gonna skip the winter. So really enjoying this time home right now.
Nice. Well, I think that's a great transition. Sometimes it does feel a bit unachievable, or that it's just something that you see across the screen, someone who's, rich or whatever that may be to live that life. You're here today to give us some tips on how to do that or how to transition to that life. And so I guess just to make sure that we're all on the same playing field, can you describe what digital nomad means?
Yeah, so a digital nomad is someone that has the ability to work remotely and that uses that privilege to work and travel the world. I think it's important to make that distinction because as a backpacker, I wasn't working, right? I would take some time off and travel and then come back home and work physically. If you're a traveler, like you could be a digital nomad, but you could also just be a traveler taking like a year gap or I don't know, 2 months, 3 months of travel. So a digital nomad is really someone that's working and traveling at the same time. Hence the word like digital, right? If you're not working online, then there's other words. I don't know them all, but it's not digital nomad.
I'm currently working at a job and I want to become a digital nomad. Can you give me some tools to help me become a digital nomad?
Yeah, this was a long process for me, and there's no right or wrong answers, but I like to work backwards, right? So what's the end goal? The end goal is to make money online, and that this money that you're making online is not limited to your geographic phys- position. I don't know if I said that right. That's also my French and translating as I go, but you're not limited to like from where you work, right? And then for the digital nomad part, this is where you have to find skills that are in high demand in the market today and that can be done online. um, if people want to check this out, I have the ultimate work from anywhere job board guide that I've created because I had so many questions about it, and there's a lot of scammers. So you really have to be careful of the job boards that like you're actually apply to. But there are thousands of remote jobs out there. I just feel like people don't know where to look. So the first step is like, what am I good at? If you're doing customer service, you can do customer service online. If you're doing sales, you can do sales online. If you're doing marketing, graphic design, data, a million things. You just have to find what you are good at. And then if you don't feel comfortable, honestly, I would recommend investing into digital nomad skills. And those are the ones that I've named, right? So, like the obvious ones: sales, marketing, communication, project management, data, graphic design. I might be missing a few that are really obvious that are not coming to my mind right now, but I know that for a fact that like these are the main ones. Like ads, paid ads, that's a like really good one if you can do that. IT, customer service, customer support, customer success, all that stuff. There's no limitation. If you're already working in front of a laptop, I really challenge why you have to go into a like a physical cubicle or um office to do the job. Like it's not a matter of you doing the job or not. It's a matter of finding the companies that will allow you to be remote.
I think that's definitely one of the barriers because, like, yeah, it's great. I think your employer definitely doesn't prefer you to. Most employers definitely wouldn't prefer you to go abroad or to be in a different time zone, right? But it's so
Why?
how do you go find those companies, or maybe what are the tools that you use to find those companies that will allow you to live that lifestyle?
I solely apply to work from anywhere jobs from those remote job boards. I don't even hustle to try to convince an employer that I'm going to be 10 times happier and 10 times more productive if I get to choose my environment. But I will give you the example of my partner who is in sales and started a job because he really needed a job and it wasn't work from anywhere. It was just remote, right? So he started there, remote job. And after he passed his probation and made sure that he was kind of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Irreplaceable, like that he had a lot of value there, he asked for a test. And this is where, like, the employer, if they're smart and if they really value you, it's going to be really hard to say no. Like, are you really gonna fire me over me, I don't know, like going to work 1 month in the UK, for example? He's from the UK, right? So like, are you really gonna fire me over that? Like, I'm gonna log in at the same hours. I'm like, you're not even gonna know that I'm gone. And they said yes. And we went to the UK for a month, tried it. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. With like, he tried it with his company. They literally forgot that he was abroad. Like, that's how successful it was. And guess what? Now we've traveled 5 months across Latin America, no issues. We're going again. We're going to Mexico. We're going to Brazil. We're gonna do Europe. So can you work your way there? Yes. What are the other tools specifically that you can use? Honestly, I stick to the remote job boards. I if I apply to a job, like back then, if I would apply to a job and I wasn't sure, I would make sure to not even waste my time. I would make sure during the interview process to be like, hey, by the way, I would always test this by saying I own property in Mexico and I go there all the time. Will that be an issue considering that this job is like remote? And if they said no, then I'd be like, well, I don't see a reason to continue the interview process because I do spend all of my winters abroad. And if they're like, no, 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 that's not an issue, then I'm not legally telling people listening to like go without the consent of your job. But have I done it? Yes. Was I successful? Yes. Do the employer even notice? Absolutely not. It is pure micromanagement and control. Yes, there are tax purposes, all of that. Certain companies can't do it. But just to say no for the heck of saying no, and then you have the CEO going to the United States and working from there, but you're not like, so I just do remote jobs. The end.
Yeah, uh, I think that's fair enough. Like it's kind of setting the standard once you kind of make that connection, and then filtering the jobs or emphasizing this is the type of lifestyle that I live, and if it fits your company, great. If not, well, move along.
And I think people would be really surprised what you could learn by asking. The amount of jobs that were remote, not work from anywhere, but just remote, that's always my starting point. And that I would mention my travel plan, and they were like, yeah, we don't care. So, like, sometimes I think there's like that fear of asking, there's that fear of being like affirmative in who you are and what you do. But to be honest, if the job gets done, like, who cares?
Yeah, and I mean, in Canada at least, that labor is an issue, right? Finding skilled people for jobs. So I mean, if we're looking at trends, that means that the employees have more power over employers. So
Yes, there's thousands of jobs out there. So I think it's just a matter of not knowing where to look or being afraid to do the switch. But if you're doing customer support in an office in Montreal, well, you could do that remotely. Like there is no issue. It's a non-issue. Like today, there's probably over 1,000 jobs in customer service on all these job boards. Like you can do it.
make the leap, do it. But before people make the leap, I want to get to the real bits of digital nomads because I've had a ton of people on here talking about, I'm a digital nomad, maybe not going into detail into, how to become one and stuff like that. That's definitely the first time. But, you've been doing this since 2017. I kind of want to hear the real shit, like the high highs and the low lows.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too because I agree with you when when you say that like this lifestyle is kind of glamorized and people tend to show only like the positive and the nice. Like, no, this is not for everyone. This is not peachy rosy all the time. So let's get into like the nitty gritty of it. If you're someone that likes your routine and like ultimate comfort, can you do this? Yes. Is it affordable? No, not at all. It is not affordable. This is going to cost you like 2 to 3 times whatever you're paying to be at home. Giving you an example, like Costa Rica. Okay, Costa Rica's a very expensive destination. You're going to say like, okay, this is very biased, but like for 2,000 USD per month, my partner and I were living in a box in a 300 square feet apartment. The bed was next to the cooking station and there was a door for the like bathroom, and that's about it, and that's what you will get in Costa Rica. So like if you're not willing to adapt and stretch your comfort zone, this is going to be really difficult. Or pay. So earlier you said a lot of people think you're rich. By all means, I am not rich. I have paid my way for this lifestyle and I still do. Its advantages and its pros and cons basically, but you have to be really 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 flexible. Like working in a cafe has to be a non-issue. Again, me and my partner, we're not rich. We travel like carry on only, which makes us it helps us save thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars because that's how the airplanes get you, right? They're like, this flight is $300, and then you're like, perfect, I have a check luggage, and then it's like 500 because you have a luggage. So we came to found all these little tips that make it a lot more affordable for us. But if you're not comfortable living out of a suitcase, it's not gonna happen. Like I look cute right now. I I did my hair and all of this. When I'm traveling, I don't look like this. I don't have the luxury of bringing my nice clothes. I don't have the luxury of bringing like my earrings and my nice little things for my hair. Like that's not gonna happen. I am living off of a suitcase. Like I have bathing suits, shoes, underwear, and like basic clothes. That is it. That is all I can bring, right? Like my makeup, forget it. Forget my makeup. There's no, I don't like the amount of liquids. I can't bring all my makeup. That's not gonna happen. So yeah, I'm like, yes, I'm a champagne nomad. Yes, I like my comfort, but realistically, right? Like, realistically, being comfortable in Costa Rica is a 300 square feet apartment. Realistically, being comfortable in Antigua, Guatemala is like a room maybe at the Selena with a shared bathroom. It's a level of comfort above the backpacker, but is it my beautiful two-story townhouse? No, it's not. So, yeah, you will deal with the power outages. You will deal with food being weird sometimes. You will deal with horror stories like I was in a drug cartel on the east side of Costa Rica and we lost thousands of dollars. And would that ever happen if I wasn't traveling? Like, no.
Hold on, you were in a drug cartel.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
expand.
yeah, so basically, this was my 12th time in Costa Rica, right? And I had the privilege once more of saying, I want to explore new parts of Costa Rica. 'Cause I have a very set itinerary. I go on the west side. I go to Tamarindo, Nosara, Santa Teresa. That's what I do. Thank you. I love it. This time around, I was like, let's explore. Let's try something new. There's this digital nomad hub in Costa Rica on the east side called Puerto Viejo. It's supposed to be a hub. I was really excited. It's supposed to have a Jamaican meets Latin America vibe. Um, and yeah, it was exactly that. It was Jamaica's ghetto meets Costa Rica. I do not recommend, honestly. I love Costa Rica to bits, but like, don't go to Puerto Viejo. We, as digital nomads, here's another tip when you want to save money. You're going to rent for long periods of time. Like, renting an Airbnb for 1 week, you're never going to get the same price as if you're renting it for 5 weeks and then you're messaging directly the owner and you're like, hey, we want to stay for 5 weeks, maybe more, give us a price, nah, 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 nah. Like, you're gonna get better discounts, better deals, all of that. So we rented for 5 weeks, read all the reviews. The owner really like did a great job at hiding that her apartment wasn't in a car, like in the cartel, not like near, in it. Like, you have to walk past a bunch of drug dealers to get to the apartment. It was so uncomfortable. It was horrendous. And we tried to negotiate, give us our money back. Like, we want to leave. Nah, nah, nah. She wouldn't do. Airbnb was like, send us pictures of the drug dealers. I like, this was a horror story, and I did. That's how crazy I was. That's how desperate I was. Like, I put my phone in the back of my pocket and leave it on video, and like, then I took like screenshots of them and I send it to them, and they were like, "Oh, but they're not in your property."
I misunderstood. I thought you said that you had joined the cartel.
No, I don't do drugs. I don't do drugs, but I mean, they were selling drugs like right in front of our apartment. So they lived there. Their house was like the second house near us. So we were
Yeah, you
in
just
the
start throwing
cartel.
gang signs.
Huh?
Start throwing some gang signs.
No, 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 no. I'm telling you, it's terrifying. Like, it's funny when you're back or whatever, nothing bad happened, but like, that's no joke. Like, the ghetto in Latin America is, yeah, it's hardcore.
Yeah, it's you got to be careful. Uh, I have another question for you before we get to Q&A.
Okay.
I'm really intrigued about the Amazing Race. So you were on the Amazing Race. How many years ago was that?
That was right before I started my nomadic journey. So that was in like 2015, 2016, maybe.
Can you tell us? Can you give us some of the behind the scenes on the selection process and I guess how it was on the show?
Yes. The Amazing Race was by far one of the best experiences of my life. Highly recommend for anyone that's I think they're doing the castings now. This won't be relevant when you're publishing this episode, but I think they're doing castings now, and I really highly recommend. I had done TV reality before. I was on a modeling show before that, and the experience was horrible. So it was really refreshing to be on a show that wasn't about like drama and, creating like fake news and all that stuff. It was really about exploring Canada, first of all, which I'm so fortunate that I feel that I'm so fortunate that I got to see Canada like from coast to coast, like literally from St. John, Newfoundland to Victoria in BC, and we stopped in almost every single province and like really really got to see Canada inside out. That was great. Then they took us to China and Thailand, and we had such a blast there. Like, me and my best friend, business partner at the time, we love to travel, so it was so cool to like race around the world with my best friend and the whole entire crew. we're pretty much nomads. Like, to be honest, that was kind of like my first real awakening to nomads. So, right, they weren't digital nomads, they weren't like working online, but these people live to travel. Like, the sound guy, the camera guy, they became like really close friends. So, here's something people don't know, like, every team gets assigned a sound guy and a camera guy. And they become your shadow. Like, they live with you, they follow you everywhere. Like, they're with you 24/7. It's literally like, can you take my mic off? Like, I'm going to shower, or like, I need to poop or whatever. So, like, they're really with you all the time. And yeah, I started like talking to them, and we got really close. And they would be traveling like 8 to 10 months out of the year on different contracts and different shows, and they 100% consider themselves nomads. And it was so cool to see, and it was so inspiring, and I was just like, wow, like, I wish I could do that. And like, you get paid to do these amazing shows, and you get to travel, and like, you get to explore the world. Like, I was really amazed by that. So that was by far one of my best experiences. I had the opportunity to face a lot of my fears. I'm terrified of heights. They made me tightrope on the two highest buildings in Vancouver. I still can't believe I did that. Yeah. And I did it. And like, I was hyperventilating the whole time, but I did it. And we were the first team to cross. I was like, oh my God. And yeah, we went on the Great Wall of China, and like, got to tour and I mean, guide a bunch of tourists in French on the Great Wall of China. And in Thailand, we had to do like a puppet show in front of a live audience. And like, we just experienced so many cool things, and it was eye opening and just reinforcing, like, yeah, I want to travel the world. Like, I want to do this. This is dope.
Is it exactly how it looks on TV?
Yeah, I can definitely say that this show is not scripted, not fake. Whoever wins, wins for real. The challenges are for real. The emotions are for real. And like, the plane lands, they let everyone like get off, the normal people, or I don't know how to call it, the non-participants. And then they're literally like, race, and like, we run out of the plane into the airport grabbing our bags. Like, it is an it's actual race, like, no jokes. This is not fake, it's a race, a real one.
That's awesome. Anyways, let's get to Q&A. First question, hot or cold?
Hot.
Beach or mountains?
Beach. Wait, beach. Yeah, beach.
Bus or train?
Train.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
It's a good answer. Top or bottom bunk?
Top.
Have you been to jail?
Almost.
Let's hear it.
In Colombia, Ubers are illegal, but
Yeah.
you can order them. And at night, you're not supposed to walk. So we took an Uber, and our Uber got stopped, and we got searched, and they were yelling. I don't speak Spanish, so they were yelling a bunch of stuff, and they started like handcuffing my boyfriend, and I was just like, oh my God, what is going on? And to this day, I'm not 100% sure what happened, but our driver convinced the cops that, like, uncuff him, we're friends, we're good to go. And we got back in the car, but he didn't speak a word of English, and we didn't speak a word of Spanish, so we just laughed the whole entire way to our destination. Still to this day, not 100% certain what happened, but yo, Colombia prison, like, is the last place I would want to go. So whatever this man did, thank you again, because he saved us.
I can just imagine what he said. He probably said something like, they're in the cartel, I've been to their Airbnb, don't fuck with them. Exactly. I think you're going to have a good answer for this one, but what is the weirdest food you've eaten abroad?
Crocodile? Oh, so much. Crocodile, antelope, larva. I'm gonna go with crocodile because it wasn't. No, I'm gonna go with the larva because that was disgusting. It was like if you take a really juicy pimple and you pop it in your mouth, and the pus, that's the texture and the taste. 99. I've never tasted a pimple, but I'm pretty sure this is what it tastes like. So I'm gonna go with that. Like crocodile was better than that. Yeah.
What is your biggest travel pet peeve?
What does pet peeve mean?
Like something you don't like, something that annoys you from traveling.
Okay, so I made a really viral TikTok about this. I actually hate traveling. I hate the act of traveling. Are you kidding me? I hate airports. Like, I love being at my destination. Do I like waking up at 3 a.m. and being like crammed in a plane, like cold for hours, and then stressing about like the security, that is my luggage lost? Like, I hate traveling. I don't get why everyone's like posting all these like, oh, love the feeling of being in a plane. If I'm in first class, if not, I shit. I hate it.
Tell me your best travel hack.
Compression
I know you're gonna have a great one for this.
Compression bags.
Compression bags?
Yeah.
For your luggage?
Yeah. Game changer. Compression bags completely changed my life. I can double the amount of things that I bring because of compression bags. It's a total game changer. And this is not like a revelation, but eSIM also. eSIM is like, come on. I don't want to mess with a physical SIM anymore and blah, blah, blah. And
I lost the tool. I can't open it now. Like,
yeah, exactly. But compression bag, love compression bags.
Okay, so when you say compression bag, are you just buying the cubes or are you actually compressing them, like taking the air out of the bags?
Yeah, I have the ones that like you vacuum or that you can press and like take all the air out, and it makes it like a little tight tin. And like I can bring so much more stuff. Like honestly, I could not travel without them. And I also have the Osprey cubes, not sponsored, but like you can pull on these things. Like Osprey is such a cool brand. Honestly, I've had like these bags for 10 years, and you can pull on all the strings and they will never break. And even if they do, they reimburse you. And again, you can smash the crap out of it and like compress all your bags and your luggage. And as a woman, that's like game changer.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Where is the most underrated country?
The country that rocked me the most that is upcoming is Cape Town, South Africa. I think it's really worth going to South Africa. I think it's a underdog digital nomad hub, soon to be really popular. Like I feel like it's gonna boom. And if you're a digital nomad, it's soon going to be the Lisbon, Madeira, like Medellin hub. So you want to go before it reaches that point and all the prices go higher. So yeah, I would highly recommend. Really cool city.
Where's somewhere you'd never go back?
China. Can't pay me to go back there. No.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that place too, because I work for the government of Canada. I'd rather not get jailed. Where were you the most scared?
Puerto Viejo.
Okay. We've covered that one, so yeah, that's great. Last question. What's something you never travel without?
So this is one thing I want to bring. I'm going to get to your answer. I'm buying time. But this is one thing I want to bring that my boyfriend absolutely refuses. But I want to bring my goddamn blender. Seriously! There's been so many Airbnbs. They don't have a blender. I like my smoothie in the morning. I said that. If I'm traveling and like there's no blenders, it drives me wild. Like, and it's so much cheaper to make it from home. So I've been wanting to bring a magic bullet, but my boyfriend is like, over my dead body. You are not taking space to bring a magic bullet for like 5-6 months abroad. Like, no. So I haven't done it because I don't want to piss him off. But what's something I don't try? Oh, pepper spray.
Really?
Yeah, I always travel with my pepper spray. I always, always, always have it. It looks like it's hairspray. This is a tip for the ladies. Amazon looks like it's hairspray, covered in pink, glittery. They never catch it. There's not a single airport where there've been like they will stop me and be like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "It's hairspray. It's pepper spray. If you get
Smell,
close to
smell
me,
it.
I will blind you."
Damn. No, I've never heard that one, but that, I mean, hey, if it works, it works.
Honestly, it's the best because like I'm not gonna bring a knife. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna bring anything that can be turned against me or that's like illegal. But
Yeah.
pepper spray is so good. Like if I feel unsafe, I don't have to touch you. I don't have to anything. I'm just like, and I swear to God, you will be blinded. Like I've tried it. It's
Have you used it?
Oh yeah, it's horrible. Like I would not wish that on my worst enemy. And it's so good you can shoot it from really far. So like you feel danger, you're like, shit, I don't feel safe. Shh, start running. Trust me, no one's gonna run chase after you. Like, not gonna happen. No, pepper spray is my jam. This is how I feel safe.
So I think I have an episode name ready. Pepper spray.
Pepper spray F.
Pepper spray, the digital nomad. Anyways, Ebonie, this was great. Thank you so much for coming on. I thought this was a very informative episode for once. Typically, my guests are, telling stories about being stupid somewhere, but this was, heartfelt and informative, and yeah, this was awesome.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope I've answered a couple of burning questions. These are the questions I get all the time. So like I'm really happy if I can provide value to people and if I can inspire more people to find freedom and travel the world if they don't know how to do. You can reach out to me as well. I'm happy to like answer any more thorough questions, but I definitely think that like just knowing where to apply will be a game changer for anyone looking for a work from anywhere job, wanting to get started on their digital nomad journey. And then you just have to jump. You just have to commit and jump and like that's how
Yeah,
you're going to know if it's for you or not. You'll never know unless you do it. Like we can sit here and talk about it all day, but honestly, you have to experience it for yourself. So,
right on. Anyways, thank you so much for coming on.
thank you for having me.
All right.